Yes, well, my oldest grandchild is 28. She's a graduate of UCLA. My youngest is 1 year. And I have 10. And yes, the older ones, of course, have seen all the films, yeah. And are very, very excited about them. I mean, they're lovely. I have a 28-year-old, a 24-year-old, and so all the way down the line.
Actually, you were in one of your musicals, The Music Man, great. You were, coming out on Blu-ray next month. You were pregnant all through that film, right, with one of your sons?
Patrick, my middle son. And that's a story, too, if we have time. Do we have time? I mean, I knew you've been here all night. Yes, I had, my oldest son is Sean. My stepson is David, who was in the Partridge Family with me. I'm sure most of you know who David is. My middle son is Patrick, who's an incredible singer, actor. He's done 7 Broadway shows, and he and I are working together a lot these days. We're doing all the musicals. He's playing the leads, and I'm playing the old ladies. Wonderful.
These are all the musicals you were in?
Oklahoma Carousel and The Music Man. We're touring the country. He's playing the lead, male lead, and I'm playing the ladies. But Music Man was really interesting because at that time, it took anywhere from 6 months to a year to make a motion picture musical. And about 3 months into filming The Music Man, I discovered that I was pregnant. And this was my second child. And I didn't know what I was going to do. I took the director to lunch. I told him my plight. And after he picked himself up off the floor, he said, "Shirley, never mind. We'll do everything we can to help you." He said, "We'll build a corset. We'll keep pulling you in and pulling you in." And he said, "It's a period piece, so we can add bows and ribbons and flounces and whatever." And he said, "If need be, toward the end, well, we'll just shoot you from the waist up." But he said, "I have one request." And I said, "What is that?" And he said, "Don't tell anybody." Well, this was not going to be easy for me because I had 10-pound babies. My first was a 10-pounder, so this was my second child. So I didn't know how this was going to work out. But he built the corset, and I kept pulling me in, and as Patrick said, he has a flat nose today. Well, toward the end of the shoot was the beautiful love scene, the one and only love scene in The Music Man. The footbridge scene where we have the one and only screen kiss. Now, I'm out to here someplace by now, And here we are, Bob Preston and myself, arms tight around each other, eyes closed, all ready for that great big kiss. And all of a sudden, Bob opened his eyes and he stepped back and he said, "What the hell was that?" I said, "That was Patrick Cassidy." The addendum to this story is, as I said, Patrick is a singer and an actor, and of course his dream in life was to meet the great Robert Preston. And they just happened to be doing a benefit in New York together, and Patrick went and he knocked on the dressing room door, and Bob opened the door and he said, "Oh, Mr. Preston, I'm so excited. I'm so happy to meet you. My name is Patrick Cassidy." And with that, Bob stepped back 3 steps and he said, I know, we've already met."
Okay, we got time for one more, because we have been here. Yes, go ahead.
It's well-known fact that Frank Sinatra was the original co-star.
Carousel, yes.
Frank Sinatra, you saying was
Frank Sinatra, yes. Frank Sinatra was supposed to be Billy Bigelow in Carousel. Matter of fact, we did all the pre-rehearsals, we did all the photography, pre-photography, all the costume, photographs, everything, the rehearsals, everything. And Frank would have been wonderful, by the way. I mean, he would have been wonderful and very excited about doing it. I mean, he said, "Shirley, this is a dream of a lifetime for me." And I said, "I understand it. It's the best male role in a musical that anybody could have, Billy Bigelow." Well, we did all the rehearsals, and we were shooting in Boothbay Harbor, Maine. That was our location, Boothbay Harbor. And all the dancers and singers had been up there for months rehearsing all the numbers. And finally, we're ready for the first dramatic scene. And I'm there on the dock waiting, for Frank to arrive to start filming our first dramatic scene. Well, I knew ahead of time that we were shooting in 2 separate processes. We were shooting in regular CinemaScope and what they call CinemaScope 55, which would mean sometimes we might have to shoot the scene twice. But, everybody knew it. So I'm on the dock here waiting with all of the dancers. Frank arrives in the limousine from the airport. He gets out of the car, and Henry, what's his name, was our director. Henry, can't think of his last name now. Was our director. He was rather elderly then. And Frank gets out of the car and he looks at the director and he said, "Why the two cameras?" And he said, "Well, you know, Frank," he said, "we're shooting in two separate processes." And Frank said, "Does that mean I might have to do a scene twice?" And he said, "Perhaps." And he said, "I signed to do one movie, not two. Back in the car and back to the airport." And we lost our leading man. And Phoebe and Henry Ephron were the producers, the Ephrons, and Henry came over to me with tears rolling down his face, literally, and he said, "Shirley, where's Gordon McRae?" And I said, "He's in Lake Tahoe doing a nightclub act with his wife Sheila." He said, "Could you get him on the phone?" And we were on a dock. They gave me some money. It was a payphone, literally. Put the money in the payphone. I knew the hotel where he was staying in Tahoe because Gordon and Sheila became very close to me. Matter of fact, they were the godparents of my firstborn child. And I did get Gordon on the phone, believe it or not. And I said, "Gordon, it's Shirley. I'm in Boot Bay Harbor, Maine." I said, "How would you like to play Billy Bigelow in Carousel?" He said, "Give me 3 days, I have to lose 10 pounds. And that's how Gordon got the part in Carousel.
Amazing story.
Yes, Martin, yes.
Is it fair to say that you didn't sleep with Robert Preston?
And on that,
I guess he figures with an audience here, I'll tell the truth, right?
let's all thank Shirley.